Big Mike here with
Hayes Entertainment.
today's episode. We got NHL legend Matthew Barnaby.
If you like what we're doing, hit the subscribe button. This guy's a talker.
If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
Matthew Barnaby, 15-year vet in the NHL. Love these fucking guys. I'm coming up on Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Confrontational on the boards. They had a few words and some vicious stick swinging. And then Rob Ray and Matthew Barnaby dropped the gloves. And so much for friendships. And there's the smile. And a lot of fists done.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down.
Yeah, he did. He's talking as he goes along. He's talking to anybody else that wants him. Please plant one right on his kisser. Please. Uh-oh. He's tight. Yeah, tight. He's terrific. Look at him. Oh, he's so easy to hate.
The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. Roll it up and fire it up.
I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. We are going live.
There he is. There he is.
Hey, bro, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, good.
Perfect. I'm Ryan, by the way, and this is Big Mike you've been talking to.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Wait, cheers. Wait, let me get you both on.
Okay.
Do you want? Is that better like that or horizontal?
Honestly, horizontal. The other way would be better, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better on my end. Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thanks for taking the time for us today.
No problem. I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, so were we. We were mighty surprised. A little short notice, but hey, it worked out.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah, we tried to have you on one other time before. I don't know if you remember with Rob Ray and Brad May. We were supposed to be the same time.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Did it work out well with them though?
Yeah, no, everything worked out. That was good.
Good.
We got some dirt on you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm ready.
All righty.
Hey, there's a lot of it.
Yeah. Mike, shoot.
Yeah, we'll get started here. Born in Ottawa, what was childhood like?
Childhood was great. I'm from a single parent family, so I don't want to say a degenerate, but I'm a kid that grew up just trying to find his way. Honestly, I loved hockey, loved all sports, football, baseball, soccer, loved it all. But growing up in Ottawa, it was awesome. Great friends. We're all big hockey players, and being in Canada, obviously, was kind of our motto. But no, I'm very fortunate. Had a great childhood.
Was there another sport that you played that you were like really good at, or?
I was probably a better baseball player than anything. If I had to be like really honest, I played football. I was a quarterback. I was really small as a kid. I didn't grow till I was like 17, 18 years old. So, football wasn't my calling at all. I loved it. I've been an NFL fan for years and years. New York Jets fan, like through and through. I know that sucks. Like that's like the epitome of a loser. But if we get Deshaun Watson, different story. But
Fuck,
baseball,
I feel your pain. I'm a Bengals fan. I'm right with you.
Hey, you know what? Fuck you, because Andy Dalton has cost me more money than any person in this world in my betting life, and I do it for a living now. But that guy's cost me more money than anyone in my life. But I was a really good shortstop, good pitcher. Not good enough now that I have friends like Ryan Dempster that played for the Cubs and won World Series, and Kevin Millar. I've played baseball with them after life. Current life. But I was a really good baseball player, but certainly I made the right choice.
And Dempster's a good kid from around here too, because we're all from Vancouver. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Great dude.
Yeah.
Great dude.
Okay. Did you have any nicknames? I'm sure you had 100 of them. And was 36 your favorite number, and why?
My favorite number growing up, honestly, was like 7, 14. I went to junior, I got 14. And I wanted, I always loved 9 or 7. But I got to Buffalo. First I got to junior. To me, it wasn't about the NHL. It was about making junior. And I was fortunate enough. I was a small kid at 14, 15, 16. So to make junior, I was there, and they gave me the number 14. I was like, oh, fuck, cool. I got a number 14. I made it. I'm here. Beauport, Quebec City. We're all good. I get to Buffalo, and I'm not thinking about making the team. I'm just trying to survive. And at a training camp, I get the number 36, and I make the team. I'm like, all right, cool. 36, not really, I have no identification to the number at all. I like 9, I like 14, whatever it may be. But at that time, 9 was taken by Victor Gordiuk. The other numbers were retired. I was like, 36. So Victor Gordiuk doesn't make the team the next year. And they're like, do you want number 9? I'm like, fuck yeah, I really like number 9. Like, I love the number. Now, I always identified myself as a skill guy because I scored growing up and in junior, but realized once I got there and Pat LaFontaine and Alexander McGillney, I wasn't going to be a skilled guy, but I still love the number 9. Then I was like, you know what? So many people bought my jersey with the number 36 on it. I'm like, fuck, I'm sticking with 36. I'll make 36 a number. And you know what? Now that I have it, I love it. And my son's funny because my son wears the number 9 now, which is my number, what I loved, but it's 3 plus 6. I know you guys aren't great at math. You're from Western Canada. You're all good.
Hey, we're the good side of Canada.
Yeah, you're not in lockdown.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. We don't even have snow.
Smart bastards.
Yeah. Hey, how many fights have you been in practice?
Practice, I'd say NHL, probably 5.
Okay.
Maybe 6. Junior, probably 10 total. And they're not bad. Like, I watch people talk about fights in practice and them have their opinions. It's emotion, right? Like, when you lose, like, multiple games in a row, you get upset. You get angry. You want to win. So I always watch and I view the media point of view saying, oh my God, there must be a problem within the No, it's just guys wanting to be competitive. So I fought with my best friends, Rob Ray and Brad May, Marty LaPointe in Chicago. They mean nothing. They mean that you really care about your team at the end of the day, in my opinion.
Well, hey, Ryan, let's hope that our Canucks have a fight in practice pretty quick here because we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
You have my boy Justin Bailey.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. What do you know?
Good.
What can you tell us about Bailey?
I love JB. So his mom grew up, he's from Buffalo. He was born on July 1st, 1995. Only because I know that because it was July 4th. and we were all hammered when we came home from the bar. And the next day, she gave birth to Justin. But awesome kid, good player, 6'4", can skate, can shoot. And I'm really impressed with being out and not playing as many games as he'd like early on in the season. To watch him, he should be in a fucking NHL lineup every day of the week, twice on Sundays. Yeah. Like he's good enough to play in the league. I don't care for what team, and especially Vancouver, he should be in that lineup. He's been very good the last 2 days. Should have scored on the 2-on-1 yesterday, but that happens. But he's a really good player. Great kid.
I love it. I love his energy and I love his competitiveness. He's going to be a good player. We just got to give him the right opportunity, and we can't have him sitting in the bubble.
Oh, and he was really nice when I met him a couple weeks back down there at training camp. I went down to training camp just to see if I could meet some people to get him on the podcast, and ran into him, and he took the time to sit there and talk and chat with me for a few minutes, and it was great. Good kid.
Yeah, he's a great kid. The family's great. He's great with younger kids, and you just need a chance. You need to evolve into your role, and he's still young. Like we put so much. We watch the Petersons and the Hughes, and they develop at 20 years old, 19 years old. Like, that's not realistic. Like, these kids need time to develop. He's a really good player. I hope he gets a chance with Vancouver. If not, he's going to get a chance with someone else. I hope it's with Vancouver. He's a great kid and can help them.
No,
absolutely.
At this point, he's got to be better than Virtanen.
And costs a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, who did you look up to or try and play like?
You won't believe this. You guys are too young, by the way, but Matt Naslund. Do you remember the name?
Yeah, of course.
I do, 100%. Played for the
number
Canadiens.
26. Yeah, number 26, Montreal Canadiens. A small Swede. Like I said, I always identified myself as an offensive guy, and I always was as a kid. I don't think I had the elite skill as I developed through. I scored in junior, 111 points in junior, but it's junior. There's a big difference between scoring in junior and scoring in minor hockey and scoring in the pros. I arrived in McGillney and Howardchuk and Pat LaFontaine. Those were our guys, and you realize, holy fuck, these guys are fucking good, man. Like, they're a lot better than I am. But when I was a kid, I identified as a skill guy. I think we all do. We all want to emulate someone that scores, right? So for me, it was Matt Naslund. I was born in 1973. My brother was a huge Montreal Canadiens fan. And I loved him. I loved the way they announced his name when he scored. I love the skill that he played. My favorite line growing up as non-patriotic as it is, being Canadian, my favorite line I've ever watched play is the KLM line from Russia. Krutov, Larionov, and Makarov. I grew up idolizing these guys, just watching the skill level they had. Even watching them as a Canadian, I was like, wow, they're fucking good. So I've always identified like that, even though I didn't have it. Certainly love that style of game.
Okay. Did you have any rituals?
Yeah, I guess I did. I'd say for me, it wasn't a ritual. It was more a creature of habit. And if that makes a difference, either which way, always put everything on the right skate, right leg, right arm before the left. But I don't think it wasn't like I was like, oh, fuck. If I put my left skate on first, I'm going to have a bad game. I was never that guy. Now, I watched several guys that did that, and they're like mentally fucked if they did anything out of the norm. To me, it wasn't, oh my God, I have to have my coffee at 5:02. I have to have this. No, I just, creature of habit. I got to the rink really early. I was always the first guy. If I was the second guy there, did it ruin my game? No, not at all. I just prepared it, the same way and different time. And I went about my business the exact same way. So no rituals, just probably creature of habit.
Okay.
What was Kasparaitis like in the dressing room? We had him on last week, and your name came up a few times as well. And he was telling some good stories. Can you tell us a good one about him?
Well, he married a stripper. I mean, first and foremost, he married and probably divorced a stripper. I don't even know the end story, but I love Casper. He was he was fearless, crazy. Playing against him first and foremost, you always knew where he was, right? Like you knew he was going to come across. He's going to try to hurt you, and he played hard. Playing with him, and I played with him in Pittsburgh. I played with him in New York both times. He's a great teammate. He will do anything for anyone. And I'm talking teammates, coaches, training staff, people that work in the building. Whatever you want, he will do for them. That's how good a guy he is. He was just a great hockey player, a first-round pick. So many great stories, so many funny stories on him. But I just loved being around him. Honestly, he was always fun. Whether we were on the road and he gave up drinking, he'd come out with us, whatever it may be, and we'd laugh. Here's what I can tell you: always about him. He played hard. He never cheated the game. And he was a great teammate, first and foremost.
What was your favorite road city?
Oh, fuck.
Let me guess, LA?
Wow. No, they're all in Canada. Are you kidding?
The Roxy in Vancouver?
The Roxy in Vancouver. If you can't get laid at the Roxy in Vancouver, something's wrong. Montreal, Vancouver, and Canada. By far, like Roxy on Sunday nights, country night. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
Oh yeah.
The West Coast, like you go L.A., Anaheim, San Jose, you love that too because your wife's packing your clothes, she's with your 2 kids, miserable, and you're getting on a plane to go play 3 games in California. And you're FaceTiming her from dinner at Unbelievable Steakhouse, 80 degrees at night at 10 o'clock at night. You're FaceTiming her from breakfast, 90 degrees in the morning. Like it's unbelievable. And when you get home, you're like, I don't want to go home. Like I'm miserable. My wife hates me because you come home with a tan. You're like, no, I got to have a nap. And you have a burn on your face because you're fucking sunburned. Like, awesome. So, Vancouver, Montreal, and the West Coast swing.
Fuck, Ryan, you got to start going to the Roxy more often. You might have a chance with that beak.
I know, shit. I got mine's been crooked. I did a little too much talking when I should have been listening back in the day.
Good times.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
We had him and Tim Hunter on, and they were having a nose battle.
Yeah. It wasn't very good.
I can't see the beak far enough from here, but you know what? It's a little larger than your microphone, so oh shit. Well, I can't see past your bald head either.
Well, that's okay. We can handle it. Rob Ray was giving me shit too because the one time I actually the Rob Ray episode I showed up dressed as Don Cherry because I dress up as Don Cherry as my gimmick and I go to Canuck games and stuff. So Rob Ray let into me pretty good that night when we showed up dressed as Don Cherry. Yeah,
Ray's is a beauty.
Yeah, Mike, shoot the Barnaby story that Ray told us.
Yeah, I'll get there in a sec. I was going to say, take me back to the draft first, 1992, when you went 83rd overall to the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, it was a crazy time then because I just like I said, I never thought about the NHL. I thought about junior. Like I dreamed about playing the NHL, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to get there. I was a late developer, so it all like snuck up on me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
As we got closer to the draft, I was like, okay, I'm talking to teams. I'm talking to Buffalo, Chicago, Detroit. I'm talking to a bunch of teams. And I'm like, well, I think I have a fucking chance of going here. So then the list comes out, right? Like you're reading the paper. It's pre-internet. Like everything's in the paper. And a list comes out and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm rated. I call my parents. I'm like, I better get a fucking agent. Like, I actually might get drafted. So we go through the whole process and whatever. I was an okay player in junior at that point when I got drafted. I think I had 65, 66 points, a lot of penalty minutes that year. And I met with a bunch of teams. And being in Montreal, I grew up in Ottawa, an hour and a half away from there. I played junior in Montreal my last year. I was like, fuck, this is pretty cool. The day before the draft, I knew I was going to get drafted. I didn't know what round. I could go from second to the seventh to whatever it was. But I remember just walking in with my parents, with my mom and my brother and my grandmother, and just knowing like my life's going to change today. And it was pretty cool. I don't want to tear up here, but like it was pretty fucking cool walking into a rink knowing that 2 years earlier, I got drafted last overall in junior. I'm going to be drafted in the NHL today. And I was way more confident that I was going to be drafted in the NHL than I was in junior a couple of years earlier. That was the coolest part of the whole thing. Was not that I made it. I didn't think I made it in any which shape or form, but I knew I was going to be drafted. I knew my life was going to change. And I actually knew I belonged in the NHL more than I actually thought I could make junior, which is crazy to say because I tell it all the time, and people are like, "You thought you could make?" Yeah, I thought I could make NHL more than I could make junior. I thought I was more ready as a physical body and specimen, or my growth had grown so much more in those couple of years. So probably the greatest day of my life was that draft in 1992.
Okay.
Yep.
Take me back. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. Do you have a favorite piece of sports memorabilia? And is it that it looks like a hole-in-one flag behind you?
It is. Yeah, that's yeah. I try to, because I suck so bad at golf right now. I'm fucking terrible. But yeah, that's my first hole-in-one flag. I have 2 hole-in-ones. I play golf a lot. I play golf a lot. My favorite piece of memorabilia, I have a lot of memorabilia. That's what I've always collected. So I've always had almost, I don't want to say everything signed to my kids, but I have a lot signed to my kids. You can't see it right now, but I have Bobby Orr picture, which is one of my favorites. My 100th goal with the Rangers. This is St. Andrews. Yep. I shot 76 at St. Andrews. Over there, I got Gretzky, McDavid, Mario, and Yager right beside each other over there. That's sweet. My 2 favorite pieces are Tiger and Jordan. I have all the Tiger, not all the Tiger, but Tiger and Jordan on their Wheaties commercials. I have Tiger at St. Andrews on the 18th hole. All my Tiger stuff, all my Jordan stuff are all my favorite stuff. I'm a big golfer. Yep. My hockey stuff, I have over 300 sticks. I have over 300 jerseys. My golf stuff and my Jordan stuff are my prized possessions.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Remember Rob Ray had all the sticks in the background, Mike.
Yeah, he has thousands of sticks. Hey, funny we talk about this actually. A teammate of yours, Dominic Hasek, I heard he was a complete dick when it came to signing autographs for people back in the day. And I heard a story that somebody I know actually asked him for his autograph. He said no, he walked away. And I had heard Rob Ray actually threaten him, go fucking sign that right now. And he went back, signed it. And supposedly he had a 2 autograph rule for his own teammates as well. Is that true?
Well, he's just a dick in general, to tell you the truth. Like,
okay,
he's just a dick. Greatest goaltender to ever live. Like, yeah. To me, you can take Patrick Roy, Marty Brodeur, you can take fucking all of them. I combine them. I don't give a fuck. He's the best to ever live. That's how good he was. As a person, he's a douche. Yeah, bad guy. So I know Rob Ray did that. He had his own rules about. I never asked him for an autograph. As he's the best goaltender of all time, I'll never have anything of his signing in my fucking house. I can fucking promise you that in my life. But great goaltender, absolutely. He was why our teams were so successful. But yeah, he's a douchebag.
How did that picture, the shower picture, where you guys were all in the shower, right, Mike? You know what I'm talking about?
The one that was posted in my story.
In a flyer.
Yeah, what was that all about?
The shower one where I did like 1,000 push-ups before the photo shoot.
Yeah, that must be
so my arms and chest look great.
Yeah, it must be that one.
Yeah, my girlfriend, that was like Sports Illustrated, and they wanted to do a photo shoot and whatever it was. Like we had a robe thing where tough guys got a robe, so I was trying to get my robe. So Sports Illustrated did a whole photo shoot with Brad May, Rob Ray, and Dominic because he got a robe. Only guy to not get a robe, or only guy to get a robe because of who he was, not because of fighters, and he deserved it. But yeah, it was a funny. But the funny thing was that whole thing was I was like, fuck, I got to do push-ups. So I'm down like doing like 1,000 push-ups right before the photo shoot, so I was jacked. And I'm actually going to hang it right up here because the photo looks great, but it looks nothing like me. Nothing like me.
Can you tell us a good story about May, Ray, and Dixon Ward? I loved watching you guys all play back in the day. Even though we were Canucks fans, you guys were fucking entertaining to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, all three guys, great guy. Dixon Ward was very underrated. His son's doing great at Nebraska Omaha. Great little player. Played under him over all the years. Taylor's a great player, and I follow all these guys. Dixon, like I said, very underrated. Played on a great line with Vaclav Verata and Mike Pekka. Was big and instrumental on our teams. Why we had success, big reason was those guys. They did an amazing job of checking and pursuing, also scoring. But he's underrated talent, really underrated talented guy. Great passer, great penalty killer. Was a very big part of our team. Rob, one of the toughest guys I've ever seen in my life. I played with him 7 years, seen him fight all the heavies. Haven't seen him lose too many fights. Maybe saw him lose 4 or 5 in the amount of times that he fought Tony Twist, George LaRock. But like when you talk about the amount of guys that he fought, and I fought him so many times in practice and training camps and watching him, all the respect. Like he's a great dude, super tough, would stand up for everyone. And Brad May is one of my best friends in the world. He's either going to fucking knock you out or he's going to get knocked out.
Yeah,
that's the way he lives. And he's a great dude. He's a great family guy. I just love all those guys because I know what which one of those guys, Rob, Brad, and Dixon, had to do to get to the NHL and stay there and stay on top and do what they do and the people that they are, not only for the NHL and hockey, but for charity in general. I know all those guys do more post-career than probably we even envisioned in doing in our life in the NHL. Like, it's such a small scale, right? Like, you play in the NHL for 8 or 10 years or 15 years, whatever the number is. And you're retired 35 years old and you're like, oh, fuck, now what do I do? Now do I watch those guys and what they do post-career? Makes me even more proud because they're great guys.
Yeah, and we had Dixon Ward on a couple weeks ago as well. And then Brad May, of course, he's great. He tells tons of stories. We meet him at the Hockey Fights Homeless out here, and we go to the events and all the alumni events. And
he's a fucking beauty. He's a beauty, and what a guy! What a guy to crush a beer with. I mean, you could sit there for hours and listen to those stories.
He's too fat. He doesn't drink beer anymore. He drinks tequila.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, he was having beers that day at the Hockey Fights Homeless event. If you could sit down for dinner with somebody else famous, who would it be?
Wow, that's a tough one to throw on me.
Have you ever met
famous.
Tiger and Michael Jordan?
No.
No.
It's a great question. I've never been. So I've never been enthralled by other sports figures.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sports. Yeah. Doesn't have to be sports.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I always.
I would say Tiger. Tiger is my favorite athlete of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I would say Tiger just from a sports point of view. I've had dinner with Michael. Great guy, awesome to be around. Tiger, I guess I'm not that guy. I'd rather hang out with you guys or my buddies, and I'd rather have 20 guys around a bonfire or play golf and drop the ball down and play. That's just me. I don't get enthralled with athletes or politicians or that's just me. I'd rather fucking drop a bottle of vodka and fucking 90 beers and a bonfire and let's play golf and we'll have a great time.
Yeah, it sounds like our weekend. Sounds like our weekend over here as well. My answer to that one is always usually Seth Rogen or Hulk Hogan, but
yeah,
because I like to smoke one with Seth Rogen and sit there and listen to his stories.
I've never done a drug.
No, never?
Never. Everyone always says, oh my God, you have to. You're fucking crazy. You have to have done cocaine or this. I'm like, I've never, I love Coors Light. I love vodka. But I've never done a drug. So now that it's legal, I should fucking roll one up and let's roll.
Roll. Darren McCarty's got enough for the whole NHL.
I love D-Mac. Hey, he cut me out for 28 stitches.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say, taking back to your first goal and your first fight in the NHL, have you still got the puck?
My puck is with my brother.
Okay.
I gave it to my brother when I scored my first NHL goal, and they framed it, so I gave it to them, and he has it in his house. I have one thing of my own hung in my house, and that's the 100th goal puck over to the other side. I'm just not vain that way. I don't hang any of my own shit. I like my kid's stuff. My kid's a player, and I hang his stuff. But no, I don't have any of my own shit fucking hung. It's all in boxes in the back. I got everyone's fucking shit hung except for mine.
Yeah, that was Kelly Rudy was saying that how he had the whole C-SPAN container full of stuff that he hasn't been into in years, and he was just wishing his daughters might give it away one day.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like you become so consumed about yourself when you're playing. You wanna do so much, and you're proud of all your shit, and then you retire, and you're like, okay, now I have my son's 22, he's a hockey player, my daughter's 19, and I'm like, fuck, I love Wayne Gretzky, I love Tiger Woods, and I'm like, fuck, my girlfriend asks me all the time, she goes, why don't we hang this shit of yours? We have jerseys. And I'm like, I'm not taking Wayne Gretzky's down. I can tell you that. I'm not taking Tiger's down. Like, whatever. So I have this stuff that hopefully my kids will hang in their house at some time. I'll probably be long gone, but I don't hang any of my own shit.
Okay.
Mike?
You got to play for a couple teams in your career. Do any stick out more than the other?
I take good and bad from everyone. I love Buffalo. I was a young kid, right? 19 years old, 20 years old, turning pro. Great fan base. Go to Pittsburgh. Unbelievable. I go to Tampa Bay. I'm with John Tortorella. He doesn't like me as a player, not as a person. He's a great guy. I think he wears on people as a coach, but I go to New York, fucking loved it there. Yeah. So my first 3 out of 4 years, I played in Buffalo, Pittsburgh, New York. Like I was spoiled. Like I unbelievable. Like how can you complain? It was awesome, making good money, playing awesome fan bases. It was incredible. I have to have a shout out though. Playing in Colorado was incredible. Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, Paul Correa. My roommate was Timo Solani, Rob Blake. Like how awesome as you're getting a little older into your career. So I was very fortunate. All places are awesome. Great time everywhere, but those four were pretty incredible.
In New York, did you play with Pavel Bure or Theo Fleury?
Play with both of them.
Yeah, I thought so, right?
Theo probably wouldn't have remembered playing with me. He was a little fucked up then. He was a little fucked up then. Pavel was awesome. My roommate was Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
Yager was there. I mean, Brian Leach, Mark Messier was my center. Peter Nedved. Like, I can go on and on and on. The Hall of Famers that I played with on that team. We just had too many cooks in the kitchen. Spent money in the wrong places. Bobby Holik, absolutely loved. It was a great time in my life. We just didn't have success, which is sad because we had great guys and great talent. That's the saddest part of playing in New York is we were really good, really, really good, and great guys.
Absolutely. Take me back to that brawl in '96 against the Flyers when you got checked and you laid down there and then got poked a couple times from Snow and then pumped his lunch.
Yeah, I knew he was going to come over. I battled against Snowy earlier on. We played against him. He was with Cornwall the year before. I was with Rochester in the minors. So I knew Snowy. Awesome dude. I played with him in Pittsburgh a couple years after. But certainly I told my trainer at the time, he's going to come over. Fucking just watch out. I'm going to jump up and I'm going to fucking pound the fuck out of him. And for you don't get very often where you have a 5-on-5 and you're alone with a goaltender.
Yeah.
Snowy, I won this one. We're all good.
Mike, do the story.
Oh, yeah. We want to hear this story about you throwing a skate at some TV in the dressing room.
Wow, was that Rob or Brad that told you?
Yeah, that's the Rob Ray story.
That's the Rob Ray one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. Not many people know that story.
Okay,
but I'd asked to be traded, and it went back and forth, and I want to be traded. I just had enough, and I again, Ted Nolan, different coach, whatever which way. But I had asked to be traded, and our coach Lindy Ruff had come in the room the next day, weeks after, whatever, we had battles, and he challenged me in the room, and I fucking stood up, and I was like, I want to be fucking traded. Like, I want to be traded. So whatever, I got in a fight with an argument with him, and he said, get the fuck out of the room, and I want to be traded. And I looked at Rob, and I questioned him on a story that had been told, and me and Rob got in a little bit of a fight and whatever. Well, I picked up a fucking skate, and it's not like flat screen, right? Like, we're talking 1998, 97. And
one of those dinosaurs.
And I fucking heave it. It's a fucking, and it fucking sticks right in the fucking tube. Now we're getting ready to go on the ice, and everyone's standing there like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like the coaches are looking around, and players, and Rob, and all of a sudden I fucking pick up my skates. I walk out of the room and I go to the GM's office. I guess because I wasn't there. But they all sat around watching the TV with my skate in it. And comes to fruition that I didn't get traded that year. Ended up having my best playoff year ever. 13 points, like 15 games. But it was funny because I did throw my skate right through a fucking TV right in the middle of it. That will be in the book. I have a book coming out.
Okay.
And that will be in the book. That's one of the best stories that not a lot of people know about.
Okay. I feel privileged to know that one then.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
did you have to replace the TV or what?
They told me to replace it. I said, I'll replace it when you trade me. And then they traded me. I didn't replace it. I said, fuck off.
They spent the rest of the season watching it with the skate in it.
Exactly.
What are you doing with Bet99 now? And who'd you take on the Super Bowl?
I lost on the Super Bowl. I had both losers. I had Kansas City and I had the over. It was tough. Mahomes was running for his life. He was terrible. Thank God we've had the Edmonton Oilers against the Ottawa Senators 2 games in a row. They've paid back that more and more than I can ever imagine. 20 units in the last 2 days. So we're all good. But Bet99, it's a Canadian company, betting app. Like if you like to bet, it's awesome. It's a great app. I love working with them. I love to bet games, football, basketball. I do it all. If you like to bet, it's a great company to deal with. It's an all Canadian company. So I'm very fortunate to be able to do what I do and have a partnership with them as well.
Yeah, I do.
What's the Barnaby code?
Barnaby 36, all lowercase. Okay. We'll match up to $600.
Okay.
I'm writing her down right here.
Get her done.
Yeah, I do a lot of gambling online. I've been using Bet365, but now I'm going to switch to Bet99 because that's where everything goes at. Yeah,
come on over. They're awesome company either way. There's a lot of good companies, and I'm just very privileged to work with a good company. And I give my picks out every day. I'm not paid to bet one way or another. I bet mine, and they love what I do, and I bet. And we're watching fucking right now is I like basketball as well. I think it's the easiest to bet. Hockey's. Everyone says hockey's really hard, but if you watch the trends, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I find hang on, Mike. In basketball, when I bet on basketball, I always bet for the tie because most games are within 3 points.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big under guy. I'm a big under guy in basketball. Hockey, I rotate all over the place only because I probably know it more than anything, and I try to feel every aspect, whether it's puck line, money line, under, over. And then just watching this year, especially in watching how teams have to play back-to-back in 3 and 4, 4 and 7. Like it's a big difference this year.
Yeah.
Now, can you bet single games on that one, or is it just like the other Canadian ones that you can't bet a single game?
No, you can bet a single game. You can bet whatever you want. Yeah, as long as you're in Canada, you can use Bet99.
Because I know like Play Now, you have to like a parlay. You have to do a 2-game parlay or something like that. There's a minimum. So
no.
Okay.
No.
And is there UFC on Bet99?
Yep. They have everything.
Okay.
They have it all.
That's what we need to get onto then, Mike, because we do a lot of UFC guests on here and we like to bet on them. And Mike's wondering if he can do a single game because he's going to bet on the Canucks the rest of the season here and probably lose a lot of money.
Well, we have George St. Pierre coming on this week, so make sure you follow on Twitter and do our stuff because he's going to give his picks, and he's a great dude. Obviously, he's not a bad fighter.
No,
he's pretty good.
You're having him on your show?
He's one of our partners on Bet99.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We just had on just before you came on here. We had just had on Royce Gracie of UFC.
He was my original 1993 living in Buffalo. I remember watching Royce Gracie and all those guys battle out the originals. Fucking crazy, man. Like crazy. Yeah. By the way, get it out there. I will fight fucking Jose Canseco tomorrow with my hands and legs tied behind my back.
And you heard it here first on I Only Touch Greatness.
We're setting up that celebrity match, Canseco Barnaby match.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then the winner gets Jake Paul.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy.
You fought some of the toughest guys in the league at the times you played. Brashear, Ray, Chara, Domi, Grimson, just to name some. Did some stick out more than the other? And were there any you went into were like, holy fuck, why am I doing this?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them. You look at, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Peter Worrell, I'll add to that group. Chara 6'9", 265. Stu Grimson. You're not going to beat them. Like I played at 188, right? Like I'm a little heavier now, as you can see. But I played at 188. So the guys I was fighting those guys were 40, 50 pounds heavier. So tough, great for their teams, but you knew going in you had to pray and get a punch in. If you're fighting a guy 195, you're like, fucking right. I get to lay a beating tonight. And it didn't, like, the guys 180, 190 wouldn't fight me. But guys 210 to 250, they were all licking their chops. You're like, well, he's gonna fight me. Yeah. But the guys underneath wouldn't fight you. So it was kind of like catch-22. Like, I love to fight. I love it. I get scared like everyone else. It's nerve-wracking. But if I'm going to fight a guy, I'm 47 years old. If a guy 180 wants to fight me right now, I will walk down the street and pound the piss out of him. Now, if it's 250, I know I'm probably going to get pounded. Yeah. Just the reality. Same thing that was when I played. Chara, Grimson, you just had no chance.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I always remember you always had the big ass smile on your face, and that used to drive everybody mental. Yeah, there's a few good fights where you were laughing the whole time, and we'll probably try to drop some highlights into this right here with you laughing while you're getting in the fight.
I think it was you and Rob Ray actually.
That's
one
what
of them.
I thought.
You guys were just fucking chuckling while you guys were fighting.
Yeah, we had some fun. Some definitely disagreements, but hey, what are you gonna do? I love them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you think of that new Michiganer lacrosse goal?
Hey, I love it. It's skill, right? Like we're in a different level. Like we're not the skill level of the kids today, as opposed to when I came up. They're so much faster, stronger, better than we were. And I laugh at the guys from. I don't want to demean them, but the 80s and 70s and 60s. Oh my God, the hockey was so much better in 1972. Fuck no. Are you fucking kidding me? These kids are better than us 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I retired in 2007. I love watching it. I love watching the skill level. Back between the legs, pull it, lacrosse goal, whatever you want. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Do you have a favorite sports movie?
I do. It's probably going to disappoint you, though.
Nope. I've heard them all.
Okay. I'm a Kevin Costner fan.
Oh, Tin Cup.
So Draft Day.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad. It's pretty good. I watched it recently.
Yeah, I think you had like a curdling in your throat over there, Ryan. Oh, like your chest was like. Yeah, no, I'm a big Costner fan. So many. I love Blindside. I cry. I don't give a fuck. But I love Draft Day, Miracle. I played for Herb Brooks. Yeah. So many great ones. But Draft Day is probably my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, the night you fought Rob too. Didn't you guys go out for dinner the night before that?
Well, we went for dinner at my house. I cooked it, or my wife cooked the $1.99 pasta, and I had the $300 bottle of wine. But besides that, no, we didn't meet.
It might have been Brad May then that said that story.
No, it was Ray. I'm pretty sure.
No. Rob came to the house the night before, and we had our battle, and he didn't do anything wrong. Like I was going to be an asshole, and he had to defend his teammates. So it is what it is.
Of course. How's little Junior doing, by the way?
He's good. Just got over a knee injury. Just got over COVID. But he's doing good. I think he's averaging just over a point a game where he's playing in Alabama. So, like the SPHL where he plays, he had a full ride to Penn State. Was supposed to be there, but he turned pro instead. Not much for school. Neither was I. But he's a really good hockey player. He's doing really, really well. Just got over COVID. So to Matthew Jr., glad you're doing well. He's doing well. He should make the rise up in the ranks very soon.
Awesome. We can't wait to see that. Did he have like a bad case of COVID, or just like I know my brother had it and he's got just the no scent and no flavor at all, no taste?
Yeah, it's funny. My daughter had no symptoms, drank wine every single day, and was quarantined, loved it. My son had a headache for like 5 days, had like colds and chills for a couple days, but for the most part, after like day 4, he was totally fine.
Oh, good.
Do you have a personal highlight and a personal low light?
Personal highlight. Everyone always points to, you're having a hat trick on Mother's Day in the NHL, and that. For me personally, it's just getting drafted. It didn't matter what the number was. Just getting drafted for me was of significance. I was just so happy that my parents, my mom, my brother, my grandmother, my cousins got to see me get drafted in the NHL. I didn't know if it would evolve into anything more. But to me, that was probably my biggest highlight. Low light, I would just say after probably some of the decisions I made after playing.
Oh, okay.
Where I don't say I regret them. I just feel sorry maybe for some of the people that I've affected, whether it be my son or my daughter, because those are as well as my girlfriend, the people I care for the most in the world. I don't believe in lowlights or whatever, but maybe some of the decisions I've made maybe caused them some embarrassment. So maybe that's it.
Okay.
Hey, there's worse things that could happen than that. That's for sure. Yeah. What was your feud with Lyle Odoline?
Lyle's a great guy. Now that I know him, he almost died a few years ago from a spitting cactus.
Oh,
really?
Like he almost died from a spitting cactus in Arizona. We just had a battle. He's a tough guy that battled hard for his team, and when we played against him, we were rivals. And he was in my face. I was in his face. Fucking great guy.
I love
which is funny, right? Like you hate a guy so much, and then you love a guy so much. I hated him when I played against him. Love him now. You can't meet a better guy.
Did you have a go-to celly back in the day?
Fuck, I didn't score enough goals. I scored I keep celebrating my 100th goal puck over there. I guess the pumpernickel. I jabbed it in here a little bit, maybe a roundhouse.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you hang him up in 2007?
Fucking old, man. Concussions. I mean, the guys I had to fight, like I didn't get to fight guys my size. I wish I did. I would have retired. I'd still be playing now. Like these guys, some of these guys suck still. So for me, concussions, the last couple, I get punched in get in the head, and you couldn't feel your right eye. You couldn't see out of your right eye. In the end, I was checking my son's scores and how my kids were doing in the locker room on the text from my ex-wife. And when you're checking texts in between periods, probably time to finish.
Yeah. Fair enough. How did you enjoy coaching and broadcasting?
Love both. Love broadcasting still. Whatever I do with the betting world. I just like people. I think in general, I like kids and coaching. I think being able to enhance and teach is something I love to do. I'm doing a Zoom call tomorrow with a bunch of junior A kids, just teaching about where they are, COVID, pro, what to expect, all that. So I love that, and I love being able to translate my experiences to these kids. So coaching was unbelievable. The kids I got to coach, it's a forever bond, right? As for media, I get to still give my opinion. I think the most important thing about being in the media is being honest to yourself. I can say this, right? There's not sucking dick or fucking being an asshole or like, I don't need the money in media.
Right.
So I can actually say what I think. Not a lot of people give their true perspective. They try to suck too much dick.
Oh, it's true. It's true. They definitely like to hide behind the screen. That's for sure. Instead of just come out and say it like it is.
Yeah.
I got one more for me. If you had to sing one song in karaoke, what song would you sing?
Ice, ice, baby.
Yeah, nice one.
Not even a question. First fucking song. Or Macklemore.
Yeah.
We'll go Vanilla Ice or Macklemore. Anything Macklemore, but then I love everything country too. So I'm all over the map, but I'll go back to my junior days with Ice, Ice, Baby.
Okay.
Good choice. Good choice.
Great song. Great song.
Hey, Matt, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time for us today. We're huge fans of yours, and we have been your whole career, and you're absolute beauty. Now we get to actually meet you and say that we got to talk to you and bullshit with you. Appreciate the time, and best of luck for the rest of your life, my man.
Hey, cheers, boys. Anytime. Let me know. Continued success. You guys are doing an awesome job.